Shouts to Papa Ooch. Back in the day, we used to go to Blockbuster. Yo, IQ, do you know what a Blockbuster is?
It's like Netflix, but in real life.
Yes. Yes.
That's so weird to hear.
Isn't that crazy,
it.
right?
That's so fucking weird.
You just gotta go with it though. It is
Oh,
hilarious.
I feel ancient.
Yep.
Oh, that's that good shit.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ooch. I'm here with my sweaty brother Ooch, and the homie Kai, and my man not so little IQ Ooch, and we are back again, once again. How y'all doing today, boys? Children of all ages, the IQ trifecta is here. Yes, sir. All right, my man, brother Ooch, take it away.
What's going on, everybody? Very calm setting today. I ain't got no fruit.
What happened?
Honestly,
He didn't have time.
you got seed grapes.
Wait a minute.
Seeded grapes,
Oh.
not seedless.
Hold
grapes.
on.
It's kind of a turnoff. I got cat.
I need an entire timeout right fucking now. Okay. Explain to me, how the fuck was I supposed to know you wanted seedless grapes? I didn't even know you could get them like that.
Why the fuck would I want seeds in
What?
anything?
I didn't even know that. I just saw
How did
grapes.
you know?
I get
Come
them.
on, come on.
There's always seedless.
He requested grapes. He wants the fat ones, right?
But seedless.
I never knew because I just be eating the shits. I had never complained about grapes in my life.
So you'd be eating the seeds?
I guess. How would I fucking know? Like I just said, I pluck them, eat them, done.
That's fucking crazy.
That's I mean, yo,
That's
my
fucking-
my
that's crazy.
fucking
teeth,
bad.
your
I
teeth
guess.
don't feel the seeds when you chew,
I don't know.
or you just swallow them shits whole.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. So that's why
'Cause I like tasting juices, but the seeds block the juices.
they really block him that hard.
Yeah, because I have to spit it out. So I'm letting go some of the juice. The grape juice. You know what I mean?
My bad, I guess. All right. Either way,
But it's okay.
other than that, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm alright. Work was low key easy, but niggas still got out late. Can you
Mm.
imagine that?
Imagine that.
It's just crazy.
Kai-san, how you doing today, sir?
Good. That's really all I have. It's kind of been a lot, so I'm gonna just leave it at that.
And I know why. We'll get into it. We will. IQ Ooch, how about you, sir? How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I have some familiar faces.
Okay.
Oh,
Shout outs to Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, and
Oh, how the fuck you got Supersonic as well? Okay. Yo, shout outs to when he showed us that one fucking fan made bullshit on YouTube when he was so young.
I was like Nero, the red guy.
This dude was little. This is when you were really little Ooch. He was like fucking super little Ooch. And I think we were at Anime Next. We was in the hotel room, like waiting for
Yep.
something. We were just relaxing. And he showed us this fan-made fanimation where it was like Sonic, Shadow, and they was fighting, doing all this shit, right? At this point in time, Supersonic obviously already existed. I never knew that there was a Super Shadow, right?
Mm.
So we're watching this, and everyone's quiet. We're enjoying it. Of course, he's fucking enjoying it. And yo, the next shit that happened, they did a fusion dance. I lost my shit. You lost your shit. Dad lost his shit. We all said, hold the fuck up. We was like, nope. And then we all turned our attention to him because like anytime we see some new generational shit, we always like he takes the hit every single time. We're like, look at what your fucking generation did. And he was like, I didn't do it.
It was fire.
Yeah, right. Yeah, of course you thought it was fire, but like, yeah, like we watched it and we're like, yo, this shit is a straight rip off of Dragon Ball Z. It was mad funny though. It was a good time. But either way, let's get these formalities out of the way. If you want to hear your name shouted out at the end of these episodes, if you have any sort of inclination within your being that you want to support us, right? You want to get the extra content, the behind the scenes, the bangers of the week. And again, can't stress this enough. Support this. We want to transform this set. Please hit us up on Patreon, Full Power Podcast over on the Patreon page. If you have a comment, question, concern, business inquiry, or fan art, or you're trying to sponsor. Funny enough, someone actually did hit us up. I don't know if it's legit though, but we'll soon see if it is or not. Hit us up, fullpowerpod@gmail.com. That's fullpowerpod@gmail.com. Hit us up with the Bluebird at fullpowerpod over on Twitter. All right. So, oh yeah, super thanks, right? Because YouTube and everything. I almost always nowadays forget to mention that. But yes, super thanks comments are super gracious of if you guys do them, and they will get prioritized over all the other comments, which we're gonna make a point to go over first before we get into like the nitty-gritty meat and bones of what we're talking about today. What we're talking about today is actually pretty interesting. It's a lot of mixture of things. As you already know, just to kind of give you a little preview of what we're talking about today, obviously we got some One Piece. I have started it, and it's great so far. Other than that, yeah, just comments and let's see. And Dragon Ball fans have lost their minds yet again. It's getting worse, guys. It's getting worse. It's getting worse by the day, it seems. So we'll get into that. So let's see. So we got comments over on last week's episode. Okay. So I'm not reading in any particular order. My screen doesn't really show them in any kind of sequence. I don't think. I mean, I think it does. It goes from like older to not as old sometimes. Actually, no, it's a mix. It is a mix. I'm sorry. But anyways, let's see. So this person says, let's go. Happy y'all are starting One Piece and giving it a chance. Telling you, One Piece might end up actually being a mainstay here. We'll see how it goes. So shout outs to that. Thank you so much. This person says, used to pray for times like this. Been wanting Uchi to get to One Piece for a while. Oda does not miss. Another One Piece comment. Can't make this up, guys. And I did respond to them saying, so far I'm liking what I'm reading. This person says, awesome episode, guys. Thank you. Damn, now I have to consume One Piece. Since Uchi is going to start watching or reading it, let the real ones go after the One Piece. Okay, so that's 3 One Piece comments in a row, guys. I don't know. Do you feel like that means something? Shrugs. Okay.
Shrug.
Do you-
One Piece.
One Piece. Oh. Kai, any thoughts so far? No. Okay. I move on. All right, so here we go. The breakage. Back to Dragon Ball. But is it really Dragon Ball comment? No. It's fan-made Dragon Ball comment. So our boy Mr. Wash, shout out to Mr. Wash. Keep it clean, right? Little synopsis of Kakume without spoilers because we were trying to talk about Kakume for a little bit last week, but I couldn't find the synopsis. I kept getting on sites that was like Spanish and stuff, but either way, they said, pretty much it's the plot we always wanted, an all-out war between the gods, angels, and mortals, but it's not with the deities we already know. It's with the deities of the destroyed universes mentioned before. So that sounds like a fun time. Now they continue and they say, all the mortals across the multiverse are informed of the approaching threat, so it's a race against the clock, uniting everyone together to prepare for a war. And there's one little thing that they do mention, and I think it is appropriate to mention that they're trying to prepare without Goku, which makes it very interesting. Because that's one thing that we've talked about in the past. It's like, I mean, that's very Absalon-esque. I feel like anything that doesn't involve Goku in some capacity at the high level, I want to go on a limb and say Absalon definitely established that and did that shit first. You know, I will always pay the respects to Absalon, even though I've never finished it. We gotta finish that shit, just for the sake of seeing where the story was going, right? So that means more Pride Troopers with a new member, Planet Sadala, and the king of said planet, Wolf Trio, Demon Realm involved, and your favorite Saiyan Broly is in the story. So definitely well done lore, art, and character development. Mondo Cool is the GOAT for this series on his YouTube channel. So yeah, really shout outs to them. And shout outs to Kakume. I know that's been one that you guys have been wanting us to check out for ever since Legend. Let's be honest, right? Ever since Legend came out, that's been a show. Right? It's been one of the fan works that you guys wanted to just take the hype train of Legend and then just take the alternate route or some shit and just go to Kakume after, like, you know, we hit the final destination of Legend. But Kai, what do you think about Kakume from the synopsis?
I'm ready for it.
Okay, what about you?
I'll just have to see it for myself.
So when you say see for yourself, do you just mean you're just gonna wait for me to read it and then me to tell you about it? And okay, I figured.
Wait, it's a manga?
It's a fan made manga. Yeah,
I'm not gonna read it.
that's what I thought. So IQ Oosh, how does that sound intriguing to you?
I'll read it.
All right, so 3 out of 4. That's pretty good. That's 3 out of 4. I give you like 3.5 because you're not gonna read it. You're just waiting for us to tell you about it.
Sounded like it was animated. Guess not. I'm disappointed.
Yeah. That's a shame. All right, whatever. So, but yeah, Kakume sounds like a fun time. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I know I said in these comments that or maybe it wasn't here. I was like, I think maybe it was on like Twitter or my Discord, but I did mention that I was gonna try to start it when I saw this synopsis, or maybe I mentioned it last week that I was going to start it. I actually haven't had the chance to. I've been trying to find a new job, building a portfolio, doing all this other stuff, as well as reading One Piece, which we'll get into. So this next person, so they're going to go, so they answered the question. And see, this is going to be interesting because, like, I do have things to talk about here on this episode. So we'll see how deep we can get on these, but this person actually answered and was partaking in what we were starting to talk about last week with, like, the hype fights from like whatever animes, right? And they gave us a top 6 list with a special mention. So some of these I know we're gonna know. I know IQ might know. I know Kai's not gonna know. So I'm gonna just read off of some of the ones that I know all 4 of us definitely know, just to keep it solid and consistent. And the first fight that they mention and this is a part of their list of great anime fights from anime that they've watched, right? So the first one they mention is Broly versus Gogeta. That's a good one, right? Can we all agree on that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any thoughts as to why? Any added comments as to why Broly versus Gogeta would be a good contender for that?
For a top 5?
It was fire in the movie.
For a top 5, yeah.
Just the action overall, I would say. You know, like, it was hype on both ends. It wasn't like one-sided. It was like back and forth, and, you know, almost got a finishing blow, but didn't get it.
Yeah.
But it was still good.
Kanye, anything else?
I don't think it should be in the top 5.
It's okay. All right. So why don't you think it should be in the top 5 contendership?
I'm not knocking what it was because it was great, but I feel like it wasn't like top 5 fights. Like, we're talking things that lasted episodes. Things were like scraps on scraps, rounds happened,
All right.
things like that.
That's fair. That's a fair judge.
That's the only reason I would say that, and there's so many that have that, so I feel like it shouldn't be there. for that
Well,
reason alone.
If that was the case, then we should just X out movies in general. because we could arguably say then a top 5
Yeah.
fight from a movie standpoint would probably be the My Hero Academia movie, because that shit was fire.
That's correct.
So we should just
Yeah,
X
that's
out.
pretty true.
We should just
I
X
still haven't
out
seen 'em.
movies in general, because they're not gonna be episodes on episodes. They're not gonna have lore, like, you know, that type of shit.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's different then.
IQ, you have any added thoughts on that?
I still haven't seen the My Hero movies.
What?
Nigga.
You wait. You definitely saw the first one.
I see the first one about like, you know, like the girl and like All Might, but like the other, there's like 2 more, right?
Yeah, there's 3 total right now as of this
Nigga,
recording.
Yeah, I haven't seen the other 2.
Second one?
The second movie, you have to see that shit. That's the best one out of all 3 My Hero Academia movies. Like, I can't even talk about it until you watch it.
Nah, that shit was heat.
Okay, because that shit was ridiculous. Like, to this day, that shit, that was. I will always say this about that movie. There's a moment in that movie that was absolutely 100% an answer to Demon Slayer episode 19. That was a direct response, because when you see what happened in Demon Slayer episode 19, and you see the right, you see that shit happen, the epic moments, and it's like, it's epic, right? It was a great moment. My Hero said, "Hold my beer," and they fucking amped that shit to 11, and they gave the response, son. That's still Demon Slayer, my bad. But the songs sound very fucking similar, okay? That was my point. That was my point, son. It was literally 1-to-1, low key, son. It was like right there. But My Heroes was OD. So that's an assignment for you, IQ. You need to go watch that fucking movie. Okay? You absolutely need to watch it. And go and watch it with Dad. Because I don't know if he's seen it. Now that I think about it. But yeah, either way, the thoughts I have on that fight, I agree with both of y'all, is that it's a great fight for what it is. As far as it being a top 5, I don't think it would count, or it should count. I mean, you could count it if you're gonna categorically discuss it in other ways, like, you know, what happened out of that fight. Well, it's definitely definitely memorable, because like, first of all, it was Broly versus Gogeta in canon, right? It's not some fake shit. It's not a 4D ride. It's none of that. It's real. And, you know, there's a lot of things to take from it. It was Broly's, you know, first official appearance. And then it was like Gogeta's, I guess, first official appearance as well. And then like that shit was going back and forth to the point where they broke dimensions. Like, we can't forget that.
But hold up. Would you really say that Broly versus Gogeta is a better fight than everyone versus Broly? You know,
That's what I'm saying.
Broly.
That's what I'm saying. Like that. I'm not gonna say that was better. No, because the thing about Gogeta versus Broly is that in order to really amp that up, you need to tell the whole story. You know, like, why? How did it get there? Because Broly was washing Goku and Vegeta free. They had to retreat, and as an intermission, Broly was cooking Frieza for fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you add those things, then it's just like, oh, it gives it more of a, I guess, meaning or whatever. But outside of that, yeah, no, I personally wouldn't put it in top 5 either. So, and that's obviously no offense, of course, but, you know, like, it was definitely memorable. But like, you know, when you think about a fight, there's a beginning, middle, end. You know, Broly Gogeta's end. What, like, can you call that an end? It was basically like no contest, because fucking Chilai wished for Broly to go back to Vampa, and then the fight was over. Boom.
I mean, he was gonna die.
Right. He was definitely, there was no argument there. I see a lot of people in agreeance with that being like the truth, that like at that point if Broly didn't get wished away, he could have fucking got like for reals, right? So this next fight, this is interesting. We're shifting gears now. The female Titan versus Eren, the Attack Titan. Now that one, that's an interesting one. I want to hear your thoughts on that shit. Go, Kai, you first.
That one was pretty good. I feel like that's a pretty good answer. I don't know though. I still feel like Attack on Titan even had a couple better fights than that though, right?
Go ahead. I drive. Y'all can talk. It's good. It's just...
I don't even know if I would count Aaron in that. Like, I don't think that's I don't think that would be a top 5. I would argue that Levi versus the Ape was a top 5.
Peace.
Exactly. I didn't want to say it, but
That
he
shit
said it.
was fire.
Okay, there we go. This is why we have these discussions, because that's good.
But
Yeah.
honestly, anything with Levi fighting like any of the Titans is up there for sure. But against
And
the Ape,
honestly,
that was
you
top
gotta
5.
you gotta give him credit. It really wasn't just Levi. It was the captain and his whole men. That speech, the whole that
Mhm.
scene, that whole episode was fucking nuts.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would, yeah, I agree with that. But like, if we're talking about like somewhat of a one-on-one type of shit, where Levi was
Yeah.
taking over and he was up close and personal and shit, that's top 5.
But the reason he was able to get up that close
Yeah,
was because
was-
he had the opportunity.
It was because of everybody else. But once it
Yeah,
got to that
they all
moment,
sacked
it
themselves.
was top 5. Top 5.
I like it. IQ, you got any thoughts on that fight or what they're saying?
I agree. Levi versus Beast Titan.
Oh,
Fire.
okay. So
Honestly, even Levi versus the female Titan, once he got to that point, like that was pretty heat too.
mhm.
Manhandled that bitch.
so basically, we're all in agreement, is unanimous here at FPP that anything with Levi was just better.
That nigga was different.
It was different, right? Okay, so that,
Like, I mean, like with Aaron, like it was entertaining for sure.
mhm.
Like it was good, but it wasn't nothing compared to Levi because he was doing something
Yo,
different.
he's so different that
He's
like
different.
as soon as Levi pulled up on Mans, he had a flashback going, wait, this is him.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I was warned about this man.
Mm-hmm. That
Oh,
nigga was different.
yeah, no, that's true. Okay, okay, so they said All Might versus All for One. I fucking mentioned this last week. I mentioned this when we were talking about the senseis. I mentioned it briefly, but All Might versus All for One as a top 5 fight, I'm not sure. Only because I know that there's so many others that like, that are just better. Like, well, if we're gonna talk about My Hero Academia specifically, you gotta think the fights that would end up being top 5. You have to think about everything that happened, because a lot of My Hero Academia fights end up just being like one punch. Like, because My Hero Academia fights are like there's dialogue, like there's moments back and forth, like like the little shit.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, the flashbacks, and then there's like one decisive final fucking thing. And it's been a while since I've seen that fight specifically, but I just remember that fight for All Might. When it was done, he's like, Sugiwa, give me the right, that shit right there. Oh, that's what I remember that shit
Listen.
for.
It could maybe be like.
Listen,
a-
if we're talking My Hero, I would say that I agree. I would not put that one in there. And I'm aware that I haven't read it, so I'm not as far as other people in this room. But still, I know you'd agree with this, because no matter what's coming, the fight, like the war against Shigaraki itself,
Yeah,
is the hardest shit they've put out. And that's some of the hardest fighting in anime. Like, not but like definitely
it's up there.
definitely top 5 worthy, because that was different. That whole sequence was different.
Mhm.
Yo, see, he said war against one character. I have one right now, but I'm not gonna say it.
Uh-huh.
I'm not.
No. Please go ahead. Go ahead. It's so fucking obvious.
Listen, I'm trying to.
There can only be one.
I'm trying to respect that you're trying to get there, even though it might
There
take you.
can only no. That's something that no one can avoid. Like everyone knows how that man washed the world.
You know what we're talking about?
I have no idea.
All right, I'll give you a hint. He was on a statue. He was a statue.
In what anime?
Bruh.
I gotta spell that out more. Okay.
How do?
I'm lost, Loki.
Okay, wait. All right.
That's crazy.
All right. If we're gonna fight, if we're gonna count fucking war fights on one character, which is literally what it is in My Hero, right? Everyone's against Shigaraki. And then I said, if we're gonna count war fights, then there's another character that they had a whole war against. That was a part of a bigger war. What other wars do you know?
Naruto.
Okay, there you go.
We're talking about Naruto.
Huh?
We're talking about Naruto.
Yes,
Okay.
but who's the guy I'm talking about?
Oh, what's his fucking face? I know who you're talking about.
You know who the fuck I'm talking about.
But I can't forget his fucking name.
Ah!
But I know who you're talking about.
That's crazy.
You gotta think. Think.
I don't fucking know.
Do you
He has
starts with an M?
Mangekyo.
He had yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the abilities.
Yeah, I'm going blank right
It
now.
starts with an M.
Give me the next letter.
A.
I need the next letter. I know exactly who it
Yo,
is too.
well, it's okay. He can have the next letter because we're mad he hasn't figured it out.
M-A-D.
Mahu?
Fuck! This guy is crazy. Oh my god.
Damn,
Bro,
that's
it's
crazy.
been so long. Holy shit. It really has though.
I wonder, IQ, do you know who we're talking about?
Oh, Madara?
Oh my god.
I knew it like a Madu,
Madu.
but
You think-
Madouken.
like
Madu.
like Midoriya's in the way, so it was just blocking my shit. But that is it's two completely different characters.
He tried to blame Deku.
You try to blame a whole nother ass character.
Because we went from My Hero, which is Midoriya, Deku, blah blah blah.
Nah, you can't try to fight. That was a seamless transition.
Seamless. We went from war to war.
Yeah.
War to war. Nah, whatever. That was a good one though.
See, that's how I know a Naruto rewatch is necessary, especially for you now.
I mean, I remember that whole thing, but I forgot.
Oh, you
his
did?
name.
Did you? You didn't fucking remember his name?
There was a lot of fights though within that war.
But Brandon,
That were there.
he was the problem.
Yeah, but then there was a greater problem after him.
Okay, yeah, sure, but like, oh, all right. You know what? We're moving on. The next fight. Oh, okay, we talked about Rock Lee versus Gaara. You want to hear that discussion? You check out last week's episode because I mean, listen, I could talk about it again if you want. If you want to freaking hear us talk about it more, you could be a tier 4 on Patreon and say I redeem my extra topic for Rock Lee versus Gaara. And sure, then we'll definitely bring it up again. But I'm not trying to bore you guys talking about the same thing, Dragon Ball, over and over and over the same shit. But we'll get into that too. So, speaking of My Hero Academia, they mentioned Deku versus Overhaul. This is what I'm talking about right there. See, because like I'm gonna ding it only because, like how I mentioned before, My Hero Academia fights are usually a lot of there's a lot of distracting factors to like kind of distract you away from the actual hands between the two characters or or between whomever is fighting. There's a lot of flashback. There's a lot of this. There's a lot of that. Deku versus Overhaul, though, they had all of that, but there was a lot of action that was going on. So, and there was like, bless you, there was a lot of build up and everything. So, if I saw that on someone's top 5, though, I still probably would be like, okay. Like, if it was like, if we're talking anime overall, I'm not sure if I would put that on top 5.
That would be a hard
I
fit. That would
I
be a hard
agree with
fit.
you on that.
That would be a hard
Yeah.
fit.
Like now,
And
go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I might get some heat for this, but I'm cool with it. But I feel like the special mention Endeavor versus Nomu, that was a harder fight for me personally. Like when I saw that one, I was like, that shit was definitely one of the crazier fights I've seen.
That was
Yeah.
a lot of fight.
Yeah.
That was a lot of
Yeah.
fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? I guess we should put it like this. There needs to be a better a better method as far as how you decide like what exactly like what kind of criteria are we looking for in a fight. You know what I'm saying? Because there needs to be like there's a lot of subcategory best fight, top fight, you know what I'm saying? Because we're over here talking wars on one character and you know what I'm saying? And then like when we think about the overhaul fight, that wasn't just one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
That was, multiple people, had to get involved. I think the fights that realistically should be in any kind of top 5, top 10, when you think of a fight, you're thinking of a one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? At least, right? So when it comes down to like, oh, what was one of the most, like, what was your top 5 war moments or some shit like that? That's when you could easily bring in, okay, Shigaraki, Madara, you know what I'm saying? Like any other anime that, like fucking Bleach, like they got a whole ass war going on right now. Doesn't your Blood War arc? You know what I'm saying? So that's where it can get, it becomes a little bit easier and more clear when we think about it like that because, as it is right now, it can get a little bit messy because as you see, we're over here, all 4 of us, we're like breaking this shit down for you guys and giving you guys reasons why certain moments, certain fights, or certain, run-ins realistically wouldn't count towards, any kind of top 5, top 10, best anime fights of all time type shit, even though I'm not taking away the importance. That's different, right? Because that's a different altogether right there. But like, out of this list right here, you know what? And I'll mention the other one because I chose to skip over it just because like I was trying to be nice for Kai because he's trying to start Naruto. But Killer Bee versus Sasuke, see, that was a fight. That was one-on-one.
Yeah, no. I mean, if we're gonna talk about picking out like fights in a war that were actually like one-on-one for a time being, like that's still doable. Like you could like as long as other people weren't necessarily interfering.
That right.
one-on-one. Like, and I'll pick one right now since we're talking about Madara.
Can you pronounce his name properly, please?
Madara.
No, it's Madara. That's
Madara.
better.
Whatever.
I can't believe you're disrespecting Madara right now, bro.
Madara. There we go. I have to get the tongue twist out of me. Anyway, Guy Sensei versus Madara.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
But that's what I'm saying, because I was one-on-one, and that man pulled out all the gates.
All of them.
So, yeah, we kind of spoiled it.
You
I
did.
guess. Whatever.
You did. Congratulations.
He might not remember, though. He might not remember by the time he gets to that point. He has a lot to watch, so.
I sure as hell hope not.
But, yeah, that's a top. That would qualify as a top 5, I feel like, just because of how hard that shit was. But.
Yo. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that. So going forward, guys, feel free. Even now, like we'll bring this up, every week as long as you guys keep, giving us a list or whatever to go over, and we'll talk about them. But yeah, for the sake of, I guess, for the foreseeable future, at least for next week, if you're gonna give us a top 5, your best fights, they have to be one-on-one, and there's and no interference, no like sub-ins, none of that shit, right? Like they had to be one-on-one between person A, person B, beginning, middle, end. Even if it was beginning to end, there's a decisive winner, or even if they both lost for whatever reason. That's the criteria that we're looking for these one-on-one fights.
King Meruem versus Netero. Chairman Netedo and Hunter x Hunter. That shit as a one-on-one, if you know, you know.
I'll ding it for you.
I haven't watched Hunter x Hunter.
I haven't
so I
watched
would
it
not
either.
know.
Have to.
Mm-hmm. What do you remember like what episode around that it is or
That shit's dumb late.
it's deep? Oh, okay, it's deep. Okay.
Yeah.
This person says great episode. Fire. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Oh, this is an interesting question, right? So this person says, which old violent anime goes the hardest in y'all's opinion? Maybe react to a few fights or episodes and maybe discuss after. So this is something that would definitely have to take a little bit more research on. We'd have to come circle back around to it only because we'd have to figure out, okay, we have to define an old violent anime. You know what I'm saying? Because like, what is old to you?
I don't know.
Right? IQ, what is old to you?
Yu Yu Hakusho.
You're so educated. I love you. We're absolutely blood brothers, okay? Kai, what is old to you?
Dude, you know I'm logical, so what's old to me is you need to go back to when this shit started and look at it from that perspective.
Correct.
Look at it from like a 5 to 10 year time frame of the very beginning. Anything outside that window is not as old.
Correct. So
we want to talk
yeah.
old and violent. We want to talk about violent for no reason on so many levels that it's literally wrong to witness. Let's talk about Berserk.
What about Baki?
What about Baki?
Baki?
That shit is violent as fuck.
Nigga, that shit is
I gotta.
hard.
Well, I gotta. No, well, hold on. So I have to. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. I have to look and see when the first anime for it came out.
And honestly, Baki is supposed to come out with new shit
Yeah, we're still waiting on
because
that.
they never released
Yo,
the other part of the tournament.
That's correct.
It's been.
I
way
was
too
just
long.
talking about it, Hunter x Hunter, because that shit's old as fuck. I know it got revamped, but that shit is hard. It's violent as fuck and crazy.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Baki. Hold on. Actually, I gotta look up Baki the Grappler because that's the first one. See, there's actually a few, and I've actually taken the time. Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. Baki the Grappler happened in 2001. So, you know, if you want to count that as old,
That's pretty old.
20 plus. That was
But
a
like,
decade.
yeah,
but see, you said
That's-
Berserk, right?
that's
You
really-
said Berserk first. Guess what? That's 97. That's old.
exactly. 'Cause
That I would count that as old.
Because I was gonna say like 2001. That's kind of like that's literally like tip of the ice.
That's exactly. That's like you know, you got that that's what that shit is. That's what that shit is right there. Because realistically,
agree.
it's right. It's like you know, you can't help but make a fucking sound. But yeah, like we watched what I would call the original anime run of Baki the Grappler, which was all in a box set, and that shit didn't even finish. You get all the episodes that was ever produced, but for whatever reason, the show got canceled. Like, I can't even say midway because I don't even know how much they were planning on doing. Like, realistically, any anime that is adapting a manga has plenty of content to go off of, especially if the manga is continuing. Well, guess what? Baki's never stopped. It's still going to this day. Believe it or not. Yeah, that's what I'm fucking saying. Itagaki, the freaking author, I think that's what his name is. He's been around for a long time. Itagaki, yeah, Keisuke Itagaki. And he's been out here. Here, look, I got it right in front of me. Then when did this shit start? Original run, 91. This guy's been around. 1991, 146 volumes in total, and it's still presently going.
That's what this nigga waiting for. What's his phone number?
Okay, wrong. Okay, because again, you're gonna divert your aggressions towards the wrong person. He does not animate his own shit.
Why not?
Because he's the mangaka. Toriyama does not animate.
So who this nigga that's he working with?
It's the animation studio.
Okay. Who?
Yo, he just wants to fight somebody.
It's been years.
Let me see. I don't even know if it tells me in front of this list that I have right now. Video animation. Let's see. Studio Knack Productions, Manga Entertainment, that's the license, and Central Park Media. So have at it.
I'm gonna email them niggas.
No, you're not. You're not gonna fucking. If you don't even read the manga, you're not gonna send a goddamn email.
Bro, how you gonna still produce manga and not fucking ramp up the fucking animation?
That's not up to him.
Why not?
Because it's not.
Who's it up to?
The studios that want to take it and do an anime for it.
So tell me, what animes does that studio produce?
I don't.
Because if there's some loser shit up there, I'm.
Oh my god.
There's some fucking problems.
Okay, but this is this is different though. See, Baki the Grappler, like I mentioned, that was done by Manga Entertainment. That's who published it. Okay, but now Netflix has it.
Right.
So that's who's doing it from now on, at least for, I don't see why they would drop that shit at all, but we're still waiting, by the way.
That shit makes 0 sense.
But anyways, to get back on track here, to answer this question, old violent, right? So Kai was correct. He definitely said Berserk 97. It's, anything before the year 2000, you can 100% consider old, right? I obviously am dusty, right? Because like I'm a 93 baby, right? Do the math. It's 2023, right? So anything that I look at from the 2000s, mid 2000s, 20 teens, that's like even though it's been like 15 or 10 plus years that I've seen any of these things, like Naruto, Bleach, like anything, right? Like Black Cat, Death Note, like I won't consider those old because of when I've seen them. But I like, even in this conversation, I still think it's fair to only mention shows from the 90s and prior and consider them old. But the violent part makes it different. So like I say, Kai was right. Got the old, got the violent part. Nailed it because Berserk. I will argue though, well, not really argue, but I will mention that the 97 anime of Berserk, it is violent, but it's not as gruesome as you'd expect it to be, especially if you come from reading the manga. The manga is always going to be the worst, as far as the violentness. But the one thing that comes off the top of my head, Fist of the North Star, Hokuto no Ken. Fucking my man Kenshiro da. And you know of Kenshiro because of Jump Ultimate Stars. Mm-hmm. Right. But you used to watch it with us because Dad, shouts to Papa Ooch back in the day, we used to go to Blockbuster. Yo, IQ, do you know what a Blockbuster is?
It's like Netflix, but in real life.
Yes. Yes.
That's so weird to hear.
Isn't that crazy?
It.
Right?
That's so fucking weird.
You just gotta go with it though. It is hilarious.
I feel ancient.
Yep. Isn't that Netflix but in real life? Yes, that's 100% correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very good though. Very educated.
Dude, that's what they get. They fucked up.
Yeah.
They fucked up their deal with Netflix, and Netflix exploded.
Yep. Yeah, because once upon a time, Netflix used to be just rent like online. Like you can like request a movie and then it would get sent to you. So like they were basically cutting out the whole travel to the Blockbuster to rent. You just order it essentially. But then they decided, wait a minute, fuck that. We'll just let them stream the shit. and then Netflix destroyed Blockbuster at that point, right? But back in the day, Papa Ooch used to take us to Blockbuster on the weekends when we would see Yamor, or that's our grandma, or when we would just like go in his house, right? And we would literally always go to the anime section, always. Mm-hmm. Now I, always being young and fucking stupid, I would always look for Dragon Ball Z, only.
I would too.
I mean, you had no complaints because like you was following anything I was doing. See, back in that day, you used to play all types of games because I used to play mad different games. Now you don't play shit, right? That's besides the point. So we look at Dragon Ball Z, and then Dad goes, let's find something different, right? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't trust none of these. Like, I look at all these different like covers and shit. I'm like, what is this? Any of this shit, right? And he goes, oh, look at this. Fist of the North Star. Just like that. That's how Dad reads the fucking heel. Yeah. It's like, Fist of the North Star. Oh, this sounds good, right? That's our dad, right? So I'm like, all right, I guess. Like, give it a shot, right? And so they had like, I can't remember if we rented just the first DVD or the first two or whatever. But knowing Dad, he probably just fucking rented all of them because at the time there was only 5 DVDs, and that's actually the only 5 you could get because those are the only ones that they did an English dub for. Beyond that, because Fist of the North Star is actually like an 150 episode anime. But like I said, the 5 DVDs, they only went up to like episode like 20-ish, 20 something or whatever. And then that was it. And then like if you were only following the English dub, you would think like, oh, they canceled it. But no, they never continued like producing it. And back then they didn't put Japanese dubs with English subs out for people to buy. They didn't think that was what people wanted, which funny enough is exactly what we wanted. So we bring that shit home, man. It was fire. It was one of those fucking shows that it was like, if you weren't ready, like you had no idea what to expect, especially like back then, because remember, I'm a shonen only. This is before Death Note. This is before like sports anime. This is before like my palette was fully diverse, right? I was just shonen. Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, that was it, pretty much. Like Bleach, right? Like the typical shonen stuff. That's what I was on. What ain't fucking Fist of the North Star? We're just like, oh, like it's from the 80s. It's like, it's has its old look or whatever, which is fine. Didn't really bother me. It'll bother you nowadays, right? And then like, it starts off kind of slow in that first episode, but by the end, where they lock this man up, and then a bunch of bandits are about to like kill a bunch of innocent people in this like post-apocalyptic fucking world where gangs are basically running shit. He hears about it. He gets a little bit of water, right? Because they wasn't feeding him. He gets a little bit, that's enough strength. He fucking rips the fucking jail cell open. He goes and saves the day, but when he fights, he's doing the pressure points. He's fucking, and then they're like, what the hell did you just do to me? He's like, omae wa mo shinderu. And basically that's are you already dead? And he's like, what the? And the fucking head exploded. Dude, when I saw that, I was like, whoa! Yo, Dad was like, oh shit! and we were sold at that point forward. We were like, oh yeah, this is fire. And we kept watching. We were like watching that shit the whole weekend. So Fist of the North Star, easily one of the, I would say, I don't know if if it goes the hardest, because there could be other ones. Like I know like Ninja Scroll is probably one of those, and I don't know how old Samurai 7 is. I don't even know if that would even be considered like that. But off the top of my head, Fist of the North Star, 100%. So there it is.
Definitely checks the old box.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely checks the old box. You could argue that it's violent for what it is, but neither here nor there. Let's see. So I don't know if I'm gonna read this next one because this comment was weird, but I guess I'll read it anyway, and we'll try to make sense of it. And if not, I'll just give it the good old crickets. Right? Okay, so let's see. This person says, idea. Right? Villains that make the most sense and why. Example, why Madara was right about everything and would have won if it weren't for those meddling Rabbit Moon Karen and the merry band of magic chakra stealing space farmers. And that's what I thought. Because I think it was just worded really funny. I think what they were trying to say is just, I guess, talk about why Madara was right. But even then, about what he did. We don't have to talk about it. Spoilers. We don't have to talk about it. I'm trying to preserve as much as I can for Kai here, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm really trying, okay? But, after it's weird because, it's this is crazy because when you think about it like this, when something is at least 20 years old, right? It is very hard to not know certain things about a show. And this actually applies to games too. Because, for example, Final Fantasy VII. I'm not going to give away anything here on this podcast, but what I will say is that game came out in 97, right? That game is so popular, a lot of people played and beat the shit out of that game. So naturally, when people are going and talking about it openly, because a lot of people, everyone has experienced it already, they already know the plot. They already know what happens. They already know this and they know that. So I'm over here trying to preserve my fucking time. But see, you can't because it's been around for so fucking long. Everyone online, especially nowadays, everyone puts their shit out there all the time. So Naruto is at that point now where a lot of people have experienced it. And a lot of people, like, you know, they just openly, like, have these discussions, these debates, and all this crap. So, we gotta do our best for Kai. Look, I tried to get him on when we was in school. I could have saved him hella years, but he didn't listen. That's his fault, okay? But, you know. So, okay. So, let's see. I think this was it the same person? Oh, Afro Samurai got some bangers. Yo, do you remember Afro Samurai?
Yeah, a little bit.
That shit was fire. Have you ever watched Afro Samurai? You have?
That's pretty ruthless.
It's not old. It came out in the 2000s. As far as, you know, our metric system goes, right? IQ, have you ever heard or seen Afro Samurai?
I never watched.
Okay, yeah. I didn't think so. But yeah. But you've heard of it, though. Okay. Yeah, that was... That's a short one. See, I never watched part 2. There's 2 parts. There's like the first part was like 5 episodes, and then like there's another part, and I never seen it. It used to be on Toonami.
Oh.
Whenever you hear someone talking about becoming the #1 headband, that's a reference to Afro Samurai. Shout out to Afro Samurai. Oh, so they said the sequel movie to the original episodes is also worth a look. I heard the manga is widely different. Oh, there's a manga. I didn't know that. Different from the anime as well and hard to come by. I think they might have just been released recently after only being sold by resellers for ridiculous multi-$100 prices for years. I got to look into that. Yo, shout out to that. Definitely shout out to that. So this person says, gives us 2 fire emojis. Fire. Thank you. Oh, thank you. And then last but not least, then we really went over every fucking comment here. That's crazy. See what I mean? See, we have plenty of content, right? So this is from our girl, Cancerian Stargazer. They say, Ooch calling Brother Ooch the lethal light skin is crazy when y'all legit look the same shade of Barista Fair 29 low key.
What the fuck was that?
And I say this with love and respect. So yes, love and respect. I definitely appreciate that. So let me explain to you what Barista Fair 29 is. That is an actual color palette.
Who named these colors?
Not us. Not them.
Barista?
Dude.
25?
I don't make the rules. 29. Barista
29.
Barista Fair. Listen, Crystal looked it up and she started laughing. And she was like, yeah, they're not wrong. And then I saw it and I'm like, oh, wow, that's basically our skin tone. That's funny. Barista Fair 29.
Can't we be like Mocha?
He doesn't like this. Oh, that's so funny. All right. Type shit. All right. Well, we're slowly running out of time, but I will definitely quickly say this just for the sake of going through these topics that I wanted to bring up. And I'm sure we'll probably bring up more next week because, like I wanted to mention earlier at the beginning of this episode, Dragon Ball fans have been losing their minds. Okay. Look at Kai's face. Okay. He is so done. Beyond done. So not only are people like they're lapsing around, right? They're running laps around the same exhausted like debates. I don't even want to call them debates. Like, what are they? Like, they're like, yo, just do something else, right? Just right. So the most recent thing that I'm going to bring up quickly is someone made a post asking, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not going to pull it up. They're paraphrasing, why did Captain Ginyu not... He said, why didn't Captain Ginyu have the same kind of control over Goku's body than Goku Black?
one nigga's a god and one nigga's a snail.
That is the lightest way to put it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw the tweet too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I peeped it. I
Yeah.
just didn't say nothing.
Of course. I mean, all I said was, "Are we fucking serious?"
I looked into the first comment actually, like on the physical post,
To the response.
and that nigga's a loser.
You're so mean.
That's crazy.
Yo, Kai, any thoughts?
Fuck no. There were no thoughts going into the post, so there's gonna be no thoughts going out to it.
I don't
No.
even know if I can low key pull that shit up.
IQ, you got any thoughts?
Whack.
Whack, correct. All right. So yeah, this might turn into a segment on this week's episode of Dragon Ball fans have lost their fucking minds and bring up whatever the hell's going on Twitter at that point. And then the last thing here before we get into the banger of the week and the Patreon shoutouts. I just wanted to acknowledge and give you guys a little update because last week it was a big deal. I finally officially announced it in front of the world that we was gonna start One Piece, right? And I've been enjoying it a lot. And so far, I haven't watched any of the episodes. I do plan on watching it as well, like in tandem. But I'm 16 chapters in. I think, yeah, or 15 to 16 chapters in. Now, I'm not going to give you guys any kind of recaps. I'm not going to give you guys any like summaries. I just wanted to point out, and I just wanted to say this. I now fully understand why people love this show. It is very, very enjoyable. And you know, the funny part is, Kai, this shit is giving me like pure inspiration-based Toriyama vibes.
I was gonna say OG Dragon Ball vibes.
Bro, when you started,
I know about it.
yo, I'm telling you, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. And I know and here's the thing, right? I don't even fuck with pirates. I've never been like that big of a pirate themed type of person. Like I watched Pirates of the Caribbean when like it was like hot back in the day.
That's different.
Yeah, no, that's different. That's different. I'm not touching that.
That's different.
I'm not touching that. Listen, don't relax. Don't shoot. Okay, don't shoot. I loved those movies, right? But aside from that, I was never like big into that theme. You know how like there's like the Edo era Japan where you got like the samurais and all that shit, right? And then like then you have people that like the fucking gladiators and all them type of shits, right? And then like the I was about to call them cavemen, but like like the folks that they like their Valkyries and all that shit, like the medieval stuff, right? They like their medieval themes, right? There's all these sorts of different themes.
The knights or the barbarians.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly, right? Pirates was never one of those things that I ever was like super attracted to. I was never like, "Arr, matey," like, yeah, I'm about to fucking put an eye patch on and a fucking sword and pretend I'm Captain fucking Hook or some shit. No, that's not me, right? But the fact that this is a theme that I really don't fuck with all that much, and I'm still loving it. It goes to show you how good this actually is. And you want to know something even more funny? Dude, when Oda was... These chapters that I'm reading right now, Oda made these when he was like 22, 23, 24 years of age. Like, that's godlike. And it makes perfect sense as to why he's still fucking writing it to this day. The dude is still young, literally. Like at this point, he's what? He's in his 40s at least, something like that. He still got it. Toriyama's is well in his 60s, probably pushing 70. I mean, it's not
Toriyama don't care.
And that's the difference. That's the big difference. And I feel like, and this is the 3 words that I'm gonna start telling people whenever I see some dumb shit about Dragon Ball going back and forth about people or whatever, right? My 3 words are literally going to be read One Piece or watch it. Doesn't matter. Because like, this is the best thing for any of us. Cause IQ's already way ahead of us. My man's like halfway through, basically, to a degree. You've seen a good amount of it. I don't know if Kai, you've seen any of it. Like you're in the same boat as me, pretty much, right? Huh, pun intended, right? Boat, pirate, red, whatever. I don't know. Sorry, but yeah, like the fact that we're both on this new adventure. This is like I'm telling you, and the fact that it's a Toei thing has nothing to do with it because that's just like a happy coincidence, I guess. But Toei don't give a shit about Dragon Ball right now. You know what they do care about? One Piece. This is gonna be really interesting. So I can't wait for you to start reading it or watching whatever. But I know that it's gonna be something that I'm probably gonna try talking about a little bit more on my main channel. I'm gonna start doing skits and shit. I'm not even gonna lie. That's a preview. I'm just putting that out there. That's what my channel's gonna start looking like because reactions are not it right now on my channel. So we're gonna do skits. So anyways, so yeah. So I now understand why y'all love One Piece. One Piece is great. One Piece is really good, and I'm glad that I'm actually getting into it now in my matured age. Because listen, back then when I found out that this dude could drown in water, I thought he was a fucking joke. I was like, really? Y'all like this fucking rubbery fucking dude? Nah, it's more than there's way more to that. Like, yo, after reading the first chapter, I was like, oh, I already knew. I was like, I now understand why people love this shit. Like, I could feel it. Like, you'll see. You'll see. We'll talk about it. Kai, once you read the first, however many chapters or whatever, then we'll start actually talking about this shit on here. So, that's the plan. So anyways, at this point in time, it is now that time for your banger of the week. And it is... We are. Let's go. Shout out to fucking We Are, the first One Piece opening. And it's crazy because I've known that song for a long time, and I've purposely skipped it. Like, I'll be like you, I'm a skipper, right? I'd be skipping that song. Every time it would come up on YouTube or a playlist, I'd be like, right? I am not ignorant no more. Because One Piece is that shit. Understand? So yes, We Are for your banger of the week. Any thoughts? Okay. And in that case... it's that time for the Patreon shoutouts. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear your name shout out at the end of these episodes, please feel free. Hit us up, Full Power Podcast, over on Patreon. Let's get it. Shout outs to our boy, back again, once again, Jayante Sheridan. Oh, thank you. Tier 4, by the way.
Welcome.
Tier 4. Stop. What? Welcome. Whatever. I don't. Whatever. Shout out to our boy Anthony Parker. Thank you.
Welcome.
Shout out to Mrs. Ooch Christel. Thank you.
Welcome.
Fucking, I don't understand this kid. Shout out to our boy Jerick Rivera. Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. Shout out to our boy Lewis Barnett. Thank you.
Yup.
Shout out to our homie Mr. Washed. Stay clean. Ah, yes. Shout out to our boy Odd Man Out. Not leaving him out. Shout out to our boy Soul Awakens. Thank you.
Wait, you asked something, nigga?
Wait. Shout out to our boy Super Saiyajin SAWFT Soft.
Welcome.
Shout out to our boy Travis Boyette. Thank you.
Welcome.
And shout out to the final Chidori Vegeta Uchiha. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, here we go. And shout outs to Worse Than a Demon. Thank you.
Welcome.
Attention! Yeah. Ah. Oh, we're feeling it today. I was helping him with his stream setup earlier. He's making a debut very soon. He's the one. He's the only.
Yeah.
He's the fruit of the loom. He's the doom of the doom. He's our boy. Choose All right. And yes, once again, as a reminder, if you guys want to hear your name shout out at the end of these episodes, please feel free, hit us up. Full Power Podcast over on the Patreon page. That is Full Power Podcast over on the Patreon page. You get the extras, the bonus content, the behind the scenes, the bangers of the week, the extras, and of course, the shout outs. And you're supporting us. So help us spruce the setup up. If you like what you're hearing, you're supporting, hit us up, Full Power Podcast over on the Patreon page. If you have a comment, question, concern, business inquiry, or fan art you're trying to sponsor, hit us up, fullpowerpod@gmail.com. That is fullpowerpod@gmail.com.
It's cut it out. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. Hit us up on the Bluebird at Full Power Pod on Twitter. All right. Shout outs to Supersonic for the Twitter shout out there.
He's on that.
He's on that. So that's another episode. We're almost at 110. That's crazy. You know, we should talk about episode 110 on episode 110. That'd be cool, right? Reminisce. Dragon Ball Super, you know? That'd be whatever.
1 million views on 110.
Hey, yeah. Damn. I forgot about that. That's crazy. Yeah. Shout outs to that. That was a fun time. But, Brother Ooze, do you have anything left for the people at home?
Stay fresh, stay clean, get yourself a nice fucking cologne, smell fresh, and get yourself seedless grapes.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right, Kakasan, what about you? What you got for the people at home?
I don't know. I mean, I guess keep your animes in check because we gotta see what else is popping. You know, it's starting to get to that point where people are fishing for shit again.
Yes, they are definitely fishing for something. We don't know what, but Dragon Ball fans need help. That is all I can really say. Okay, that is they're in desperate need, right, of something. And my man IQ, not so little Ooch. What do you got for people at home?
Get you some Supersonics.
And he definitely means the hedgehog, so shout out to that. All right. Well, great. Sounds good. It's been your boy, Ooch, the lethal one, Brother Ooch, told me of all the Kais, Kai Kassan, and my man, not so little IQ, Ooch. Make sure you guys taking care of yourselves. May the power protect, keep it locked, loaded right here on this podcast. Stay safe, stay clean, and stay the hell inside. And we'll see y'all next time. One more. Okay, one more. See ya. Oh, I caught that shit. Ready? And we're out of here. Oh wait, I need the. How can I forget?
Hello?
Hey, a little Ooch, can I get a yo, please?
Hello?
The yo-yo-yos.
All right, and you gave me hellos, so that works. Okay, cool.